I don't understand how the entire human race isn't wiped out.
Oh, a lot have been wiped out. Covenant with their genocidal war against humanity. Funny story about that. So, Covenant was forged many thousands of years in the game's present. And actually, technically, in our own timeline, it was like around 1000 BC or something when the Covenant was founded. Basically, Sangheili, which are the elites, and the Shanmie, I think is how you pronounce that. Sorry for horribly pronouncing Latin. Wait, no, it's not Latin. It's something else. Basically, the prophets and the elites had a different idea of how do you treat the Forerunner technology that they found. They were disagreed, and they fought over it. And then eventually it got to a point where they were like, alright, well, we shouldn't do this anymore, so you know what, we're just going to make a religion. Sorry, not a religion. A pact based on what we think happened to the Forerunner, which basically both of them were in agreement that they somehow received this divine status somehow, because they have all this technology and stuff over here, but where were they? They must have died, or they must have died and become gods. And then they finally figure out that they...
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, what's up?
You notice how this crashed? They crashed right on the edge of a cliff. You know how extremely lucky that is? Well, how come we couldn't just slide off this cliff?
You're gonna get shot at in about 4 seconds.
Oh god.
Hey, right on cue.
But anyway, yeah. Ouch. But yeah, seriously. If this was realistic, they would have slid off the edge of that cliff, and we would all died.
Yeah. No, just come. You don't need to fire at anything. At least you're taking all the fire. You know what? Screw that. I'm just gonna go and load
I'm
you.
A boss. Come on, come back at me, bruh. Oh, there's another one.
I'm just gonna load you.
Okay, I should get out of here now.
Yeah, what I said about a minute ago.
I didn't realize they were gonna go to the freaking crash site that fast.
Yeah. Alright, anyways, what I was saying before was the Covenant was forged by the Sangheili, which are the elites, and the prophets. I forget. Oh god! Fucking Grunt dropped a goddamn plasma nade when he died. Basically they get around by the ship called High Charity, which is a old Forerunner dreadnought, basically they built a city around it. Now, they conscripted new species as they sort of came across them, so the grunts, the hunters, which actually aren't a species themselves exactly, they're just a bunch of worms that can take on different shapes. And other species, you know, jackals and drones and all that stuff, except they all have actual names. That's just what humans call them. Similar to, you know, how like Americans called Japanese Japs, and you know, in the war they just kind of give them nicknames. But what happened was they found like a Forerunner AI or whatever, and the AI was helping them find Forerunner stuff, and basically whenever they had questions they would go to this oracle or whatever they called it. And what happened was a I think it was I can't remember if it was a Jackal ship or if it was a Grunt ship, or Grunts were on the Jackal ship. I think, or was it Brutes? I can't remember. Anyways, it wasn't elites that found the humans first. Basically, they had this this piece of machinery on all their ships, which they call luminaries. Now, the luminaries, basically, its only purpose is to find Forerunner artifacts, or just anything Forerunner in particular. So they came to this planet, and they scanned it, and they're like, holy crap, there's all these signatures, like, that's awesome. But then, it turns out that each signature represented a human being, and they actually had found a planet that was habitated by humans, and this planet is called Harvest. Which, if you played Halo Wars, that is the planet that you start on in the campaign, and basically they didn't know what to do, and they were like, well, how can people be Forerunner stuff, but they aren't Forerunner because Forerunners are dead. So the Oracle said that the reason why humans show up is because they were supposed to replace the Forerunner as the holders of the mantle, which the mantle is basically no. The mantle is a way of life, basically protectors of the galaxy by means of, protecting everything in a non-violent way, which is kind of funny because the Forerunners were at war with the humans back when the Forerunners still existed over something that ended up being, not good. But we'll get to the Flood, the origins of the Flood, once we get to that part of the campaign. Oh my god, take a fucking hit. Oh god! Thank you. That's a dropship still. Okay. Basically, sorry, so the Oracle said that humans show up because they're supposed to be they were supposed to replace the Forerunner to hold the mantle, and because of their religion, Forerunners are basically gods. So the prophets, the high prophets, so Truth, Regret, and Mercy, whom actually weren't, which actually weren't the high prophets at the time. They were just kind of, people or whatever, within the council of the Covenant. And basically, with this knowledge, they basically started a coup within the Covenant, and that's how they came to power, with this knowledge. But they said that with this knowledge, though, they were going to hide it. And so they said, okay, all humans have to die, because there's no way that there can be living gods among us and be, what they thought were inferior to them with technology and stuff. So that's why they started this genocidal campaign against the humans. So that's how the Forerunner, sorry, not the Forerunner, that's how the Covenant and humans became at war with each other. So yeah.
So was it first invasion on Earth or something?
It wasn't Earth, it was Harvest, another planet.
Look, more lifeboats. They're coming in fast.
I need that.
Right on top of them.
Yeah, so that's how the war starts. And by this point in the story, like when you're playing Halo C, like they've been at war for close to 40 years. Alright, Overdrive, you shoot.
Woodhog.
So, the whole reason why... Oh, what the hell?
Come on. Nice, already, you flipped it.
That shouldn't have happened. Yeah, so basically part of their religion is that they find out that these rings which they had read about by reading Forerunner scripture. Basically, they activated these halos, and then they all disappeared. So the Forerunner were seen as to have gained like divine status. Like they basically became gods, which isn't true.
So wait.
Right.
So after they activated the halos, they all disappeared.
Yes.
You just said.
Well, they died, right?
Did they kill themselves? So what? Did they kill themselves on accident with the halos?
No. They purposely did it. They knew what they were doing. Basically, it's still having that stupid issue with the terminals. All right, I got an achievement anyways. If you want to just hit X on that terminal, you get an achievement.
I have to hit RB.
Whatever the action button is. Because of the flood's threat to basically assimilate the whole, or not assimilate, I should say, infect the entire galaxy, they figured out a way to stop the flood, and that was to kill off its food source, which basically is any sentient being. So that meant they had to kill themselves in order to save the galaxy, and along with the galaxy, they essentially had to kill everything in the galaxy, including themselves, for the flood to die. And they did that, but not before they sort of saved samples and of all the different species in the galaxy. Once the flood threat had been eliminated, aka... That's okay, I got it. Basically, once the flood threat had been eliminated, so basically once they all died after the activation of the Halo rings, they reseeded life in the galaxy. So they sent sentinels and the like to basically reseed the galaxy, so that life existed in the galaxy once again.
So everybody all the Covenant that you see were after they did that.
Yes. So including humanity. Humanity was part of this as well. Like humanity was reseeded. All right, I'm gonna get out and kill these last couple bitches. Now we need to go up here. There's gonna be two asshole.
What exactly does that Halo do to kill everybody?
It emits a specific type of wave that basically just kills everything.
Like radioactive type nuclear thing? Just that there's no explosion.
No, not per se. Oh, you're still alive. Oh, it was just bad news bears. They figured out a way to kill people without destroying everything. It was basically just killed all sentient life, but kept, plants and all other forms of life.
I like how much time it spends on focusing on this bridge. Like,
well, they gotta get to the other side. So, what other way to do that?
I know, but back then that must have been really cool to see.
Sure. I mean, it's all part of the lure, right? So. Or the...
Nope.
Oh wow, you need health. Alright, so...
Whatever. I'm a Master Chief. I don't need health.
Oh, we missed a dude.
Need
That's
armor.
okay. Da 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 da.
So then, what year is it when the Forerunners do this?
100,000 years before present.
A lot more crew made it off the Autumn than I had predicted.
Well,
The
jeez,
captain really doesn't
technology
know.
was freaking booming.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, humanity, like, before all this was actually, like, not quite at this level, but dang near it in terms of technological prowess. Like, we were already, you know, colonizing the galaxy and all that stuff. We had, you know, laser weapons and slip space capabilities and all this stuff. But when they came across the flood, when the humans came across the flood, they were trying to figure out a way to stop it, and they came up with a couple of ways. One was they found this. How do I explain it? It was basically a substance.
So nobody.
That.
So did they?
No, it was basically a substance that they found that basically stopped the flood infection, and it actually killed it. And what they did was they gave it to a species that is now extinct. That I guess you could sort of make comparisons to dogs. It was basically a domesticated animal that humans loved and adored. So, you know, well, either dogs or cats. You know, pick your.
And they talked.
No, they didn't talk. But they basically infected these animals with this substance, and it basically, when the flood infected the host animal that was infected with this substance, basically killed the parasite, but it also killed the host as well. So that's why they used dogs, because they didn't want to, you know, kill everybody.
Like how we use monkeys now to do whatever we need to do.
Not quite, but sure, why not? But that would only do so much. So what they found out was that you basically had to stop the infection or the parasite from spreading by eliminating it entirely. So what they ended up doing was they basically started firing upon the surface of planets that were being lived on by other members of the galaxy, like species-wise. So, like, Forerunner eventually got within this as well, and they couldn't figure out what was going on, other than, okay, humans are killing Forerunners, so we have to go to war with humans. So that's how a 1,000-year, I'm not even joking, 1,000-year war between the Forerunners and the humans. Humanity lost, obviously, and Forerunners were able to basically, as punishment to humanity for fighting against them, they were able to de-evolve. No, they de-evolved humanity, so they no longer became a spacefaring race. They became Neanderthals again, so that's how that happened. Oh, there's health there in that big blood pool. But when humanity was de-evolved by the Forerunners still had no idea what was going on. There's people up there.
What was going on with what?
Well, the whole reason why.
So if they had a cure, why didn't they just use it against the flood? They didn't have enough.
No, at first, Forerunners, when they discovered the flood, they didn't know that the humans were fighting the flood until, like, almost the very end, when it was too late. That's okay, those are Marines.
Oh, crap.
And a scientist. Let one of them get on. Hopefully you haven't murdered them. Okay, can you honestly just go that way? There you go.
Well, they shouldn't come out of the base like that. They should, like, wave their hands.
You should have known the first time we did this. Anyways.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Don't feel like fighting more. Where was I at?
Where are you going?
Right.
You can't abandon those Marines. We need to stay near the RV point until Fohammer arrives.
Oh god.
Wow.
I forgot about that. Come on, Fohammer, get your ass down here. Work. Checkpoint done. Alright, so we did.
We read you, Echo 419. We have survivors and need immediate dust.
Okay, good. There's Fohammer. Now let's go. Alright.
Anyway, yeah, you were talking about how there was a cure for the flood, but I was saying.
Well, it wasn't a.
why
It wasn't a cure. It was basically.
Temporary?
No. It killed the flood. It was similar enough to antibiotics. It's not a cure, but it does the job of killing the virus. Because the flood is a virus. Well, it's a parasite, but it essentially is a virus. There's technically no cure for viruses. You know, when you have a virus, it stays in your body forever. It's just your antibodies.
It just slowed it down then. I mean,
sort of. It slowed it down to a point, but eventually became like it spread so far, so fast that it just compounded the issue. It was like exponential growth. But the Forerunners, they didn't know this at the time, that humanity actually had a system for doing it. And basically the Forerunners, they tried to understand what was going on. And so at first they tried to reason with the... Oh god. At first they tried to reason with the flood.
back up before I die.
Basically tried to sort of find a peaceful solution, because that was the mantle. Mantle basically was like achieve peaceful means of protecting everybody, so they tried to find a peaceful reason to try to, you know, keep the flood from spreading. But that didn't work, and by that time that they realized that they had to those are Marines.
Yeah, I didn't hit him.
Sure you didn't.
I did.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. Get the jackal that's down there. What was I saying? Yes. So by the time they figured out that the flood wasn't gonna stop, it was too late. It was pretty much okay. Crap. Well, we're all gonna die. But we still...
The galaxy is wiped out.
But we still need to try to figure out a way to... we still need to figure out a way to stop the flood from spreading. So basically they came up with two systems. The didact, the didact specifically. I'll explain more between the didact and the isodidact probably when we get into Halo 4. But the didact is the guy that you face in Halo 4. He came up with the shield world ideas and had...
How is he still alive for 100,000 of years?
He was put into exile, and Forerunners live for freaking long times. They do that by... I guess the only comparison you could do is to Pokemon. When you evolve, you basically change everything about your body. And that by doing that, you extend your life span, but only to a certain point, because you eventually do die. But you can live for thousands of years. But he got put in a it's like a slip space cryo, which is like it's basically like a not exactly. It's like basically it stopped time. So for him, there was hardly a time from when he got put into exile to when the chief breaks him out.
It's that ball thing that he's in then.
Yes, that is crypt. And the reason why that the didact hates humans so much was because the didact is basically, he was the general for the Forerunners, and he was obviously in charge of fighting the humans in the Forerunner human world. So he has particular hatred.
Why were they at war again?
Because humanity was trying to fight the flood, and they killed Forerunners in the process. basically trying to save themselves. That's wonderful. Oh wow, the Marine's still alive.
The good news is the captain is still alive.
So okay, so in that cryo thing, in that white
Oh my
ball
god, we
thing
were
he's
just
in Halo
here.
4.
Alright,
So in that Halo, in that thing that he was in, the cryo, whatever it's called. So he just time traveled into the future, basically, didn't he?
No. Basically, for him, relatively speaking, time stood still. It was like he was in like a bubble, essentially. A time bubble where everything for him stayed still, but everything around him kept going. And Shield worlds work like that. Actually, there's a time delay, so time inside the Shield worlds actually is slower than what's outside of it.
So it's like when you're around the pyramid, the pyramids in Egypt. You know how the pyramids in Egypt.
Well,
like,
the myth or whatever, but
that's what. Well, yeah, I heard
it's
that.
Not
something.
It's not exactly true. It's not at all. The faster you go, once you approach the speed of light,
then you start traveling into.
No. Time relative to you slows down. For you, everything's going normal speed, but everything around you is speeding up. So relative to you, you are slowing down, or relative to everyone else, you have slowed down. That's why astronauts and stuff, they are technically a little older when they come back down to Earth because they're going at a faster speed. Because it happens, or whatever. But sorry, they're older, but they're younger. They look younger than they actually are, but they're older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not making any of this up. This is all true physics.
Proof.
Oh god.
I can't aim that high.
Sorry.
You know, we can't
I thought
destroy the gunship.
I thought that dropship was going away.
I mean, dropship. You're dropping off more people with whoever's piloting. Are there any females in the Covenant?
Yes,
like,
there are, but none of them fight.
They're kind of like housewives?
No. I mean, yes, but no. The only species where females are actually sort of active in the day-to-day or whatever of, you know, like doing stuff is actually jackals. Jackals are weird. They're like, it's kind of like, the females are, it's kind of like the lion. Where the females do a lot of the work and the men sort of get glorified for it. So like, you know, male lions, you know, king or whatever, but the female lions are actually the ones that go out and hunt and kill and stuff for the majority of the time. But female grunts, Sangheili, or elites, I mean, and some other stuff. Oh, they're dropping off more here. Alright. Yeah, essentially housewives. They don't really do much. Men go off to fight.
Interesting.
Okay, as soon as that dropship goes away, I'm gonna go down.
Halo every day.
He's being held on a Covenant cruiser.
Well, you were talking to a bona fide Halo Noid. I'm just getting health. Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta get out anyways. End of level.
There's our ride. Get aboard and let's